Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gap Major and this is WoWs Weekly. WoWs Weekly covers news on and speculations, I guess you could say, in regards to World of Warships Legends, covering the week past and the week coming up. It's also a place where I cover off some of the channel admin as we go along. Now, as you're probably noticing, today's WoWs Weekly is coming out a bit later than the usual one. In fact, it's coming out after the patch notes and trailer have been released. The reason being is I've included a quick summary of the new patch coming up in this WoWs Weekly. So, first of all, I guess we need to cover that the Duca d'Aosta, I should say, is now available for 10,000 doubloons, and there's no end date in sight in regards to her sale. I have done a review that'll be carded top right now, but also on the end screen. She's also available this week only in a kind of a bundle, I guess you could say, available for 18,450 doubloons. This basically includes the ship along with a number of consumables and a memorial flag, a decorative flag, depending how you want to look at it. Now, I guess it's worth also mentioning the April the 1st teaser trailer, where we saw an announcement in regards to a future collaboration between Wargaming and with the companies Legendary and Toho. This is based on Godzilla vs. Kong blockbuster, which is coming up, and further details regarding this partnership will be published at a later date. However, based on the trailer which we have seen provided by World of Warships Legends, carded top right now, and the information provided on the World of Warships development blog, we can elaborate some things. First of all, we can see that we're going to be getting some permanent camouflages, Heat Ray for the Fuso and Primal for the New Mexico. Furthermore, we're going to be seeing expendable camouflages. These will be named Ultimate Guardian and Ultimate Titan. Furthermore, it's potential that we could see Godzilla and Kong actually appear as commanders with their own special voiceovers. Along with that, there is probably going to be containers available which will probably distribute things like a themed patch, themed flag, consumables, and the consumable camos. These will be basically called 2 Titans, 1 King. And obviously there will be a themed patch and a flag, I guess you could say. So it's interesting to see that collaboration. However, also, furthermore, another potential future collaboration, which is only mentioned on the World of Warships development blog. This is basically teasing a potential future collaboration with the anime high school fleet. Now, the photos and stuff that we got teased on the development blog are mostly in association with high-tier Japanese ships, some of which aren't actually in World of Warships Legends. So whether we see a potential collaboration along the same lines using high-tier Japanese ships in Legends is yet to be seen. If there is going to be a collaboration, then obviously further information will be published at a later date. Now, I'm including it now rather than at the end of the video. Reason being is it potentially might not work. However, down in the description is a redeem code for the Easter patch and symbol if you have missed it, along with a link to the redeemer. If it works, good luck. If it doesn't, unfortunately, that's a bit of a shame. But wow, there should be more stuff coming in the future anyway. So, as I mentioned, this is being recorded obviously before the patch drops, but it's being released after the patch drops due to the NDA, which I am obliged to, I guess you could say. However, doing a quick cover on the patch notes. Obviously, the trailer is out. That'll be carded top right now. Also, the patch notes will be out. They will be in a pinned description, pinned comments down below. So, in summary, the next patch is called 2 Years Strong. Basically, it's now 2 years since World Warships was launched as early access. So, obviously, in celebration of that, it's quite a big patch. Big thing, I guess, people are going to be noting is that aircraft carriers are now going to be fully introduced into the game. A quick summary is obviously we are getting Japanese and American carriers, and these are at tier 3, 5 and 7. Now they have basically confirmed that the restrictions on carriers is that they are limited to 1 per team, and basically there won't be such a thing as a single carrier game where there's only 1 carrier out of 18 ships. So basically both teams will have a carrier, or neither teams will have a carrier. Now, when it comes to the ships, obviously, we already know the tier 3s and 5s. That's the Langley, the Ranger, the Hosho, and the Brugio. What we're also then expecting, well, what to expect at tier 7 is the Lexington and the Shokoku, I believe. Obviously, my pronunciations are not going to be very good. Now, obviously, they have made changes to the carriers since the airstrike mode, and best to see the patch notes in regards to the summary of that, but there's little changes here and there. Furthermore, they have also made changes to the other ship types within the game in order to help them combat the aircraft, and I'll summarise some of the key points here. Tier 5 up cruisers will receive 2 charges of defensive AA fire consumable, which will be in their second slot. If they already have a consumable in their second slot, then they can opt to replace this second option. So therefore, in most cases, that second option is sonar. So you can choose that rather than having sonar, you can take 2 charges of defensive AA consumable. And what this basically does is it boosts the anti-aircraft damage for a short period. And it basically just improves the amount of damage your AA does. Now, it's worth also mentioning that apparently every commander has received the all-out anti-air skill. Obviously, I'm reading this from a initial draft of the patch notes, and therefore that line may have changed. Now, this basically passively boosts the range and power of your ship's AA defences. Furthermore, every ship of tier 4 and higher has the option to install AA Gun Module 1 in the first modification slot. So basically, rather than aiming systems, you could maybe take AA Gun modification, if that's something that you're interested in. Furthermore, in the 4th slot, so that's ships which are tier 7 and up, they will have the option to install the AA Gun Module 3. So that's usually in that slot you've got things like main battery, torpedo, launcher mods and things like that. So that's an interesting one to consider. Furthermore, we also know that the next campaign is going to be called the Limit Breaker campaign, which features the Suzuya as the end reward. Now, she is basically a 6-inch gun Megami, or 155mm gun variation. It's what the Megamis were originally built with. However, the Japanese also sneakily built, so rather than when launched they had 5 triple gun 6-inch turrets. However, the Japanese also built dual gun 8-inch gun turrets, and when they wanted to, they swapped the triple 6-inch gun turrets out for dual gun 8-inch turrets, therefore converting the Megamis from a light cruiser to a heavy cruiser based on the treaty limitations. The reason why the Megamis were built with 6-inch guns was in order to circumnavigate the treaty limits, because the treaties set limits on the number/total displacement of the heavy cruisers and light cruisers, and Japan wanted to focus on mostly heavy cruisers. So this is a way to build a heavy cruiser hull with the capability to be upgraded to a heavy cruiser with 8-inch guns, but also built with 6-inch guns in order to circumnavigate the limitations. Now, she will be locked behind the infantry backing, which is 2,500 doubloons, so we're still keeping at that. Now, the value of rewards without infantry backing is going to be 28,667 doubloons, and the total value of the rewards with infantry backing is 69,420 doubloons. A further breakdown of that will be in the patch notes, and I'll probably make a comment in regards to the distribution of that in my live stream later today. We're also seeing Arena return with seasons 2 and 3, but more information regarding that is currently withheld from me. It's probably in the patch notes, if not, probably coming at a later date. Furthermore, Golden Week. This is a week's event in Japan, which basically is a cluster of holidays, and this will begin on April the 26th and last until May the 9th. And although it's got this and that and crates and stuff like that, I think the key thing that is quite interesting is that the Ashashio will be returning, available for 12,500 doubloons for sale during that duration of the event. Very similar to what we've seen with HMS Belfast in the recent St. Patrick's Day event. Now, there's also going to be some new premium ships available in the next patch. There's a tier 4 Soviet battleship with an unpronounceable name, and there's also a tier 5 town destroyer, the Leon, depending how you want to pronounce that one. Obviously, there are going to be the usual balance changes, miscellaneous changes, and improvements and bug fixes. However, one thing that I noted, and I think is quite nice, is the which battleships will be initially receiving the concealment modification in their third slot. Most of these ships are Japanese. We have the Nishitaka, the Nagato, the Imagi, the Yamato, the Ki. Then we have the Ragnarok and the Ingenious Pagato, which are both knockoff Nagatos, and there's also the Vanguard. I'm surprised to only see the Vanguard there. I would have expected maybe more of the British line to appear, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, there are also some other changes that they have made to the Ragnarok and the Ingenious Pagato, especially things around their armour schemes and things like that. Well, that's a quick summary of the patch notes. Obviously, you can go more in depth, they're down in the description, but also we'll be doing a live stream later tonight, or later today, depending where you are in the world, in which basically I'll live stream and I'll go through the patch notes, and you guys can join in with your own questions and queries and discussions as we go along, and I look forward to seeing you there if you are. In regards to other speculations and channel news, I haven't got anything to add, so I hope to catch you later, and obviously there'll be the usual gameplay live stream on Friday. If you have enjoyed this Miles video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe. Until next time, I'm the Galloping Major, and back to the ball.
Hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the Galloping Major. Bumpity, 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 bump. Get out of the way there, you fellows, unless you want me to run you down.